Hello guys, so welcome back once again on my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you to all my wonderful subscribers. Thank you to my returning subscribers, and thank you so much to all the passers-by. Please guys, so today we'll learn how to draft and sew a halter neckline, but I'll be using a shoulder dart for this halter neckline. So guys, you're highly welcome. So please, if you have not subscribed, please kindly subscribe and hit notification bell to get notified whenever you upload and whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so without wasting much of your time, so this is the material, the fabric I'll be working on. This is an Akara fabric. Okay, so I'll be drafting first on our pattern paper. I'll be using this pattern paper. We'll draft it first before we transfer it on our fabric. Alright guys, so now I have my paper here. So first of all, I'm going to mark out my shoulder line or a starting line. Okay, so here I'll just go ahead and mark. So this is my shoulder line. So from here I'll go ahead and impute my shoulder measurements. So my shoulder measurement is 16 inches. So divided by 2, I have 8. Okay, so I have 8 here. So this is my armhole. I'll first of all give it a shoulder slope of 1/2 inch. Then I'll come down to my chest line. So this is my chest line or my armhole line. Okay. So having done that, now the next thing is to slant this into the neckline. So this is my shoulder slope. So for me, I'm going to be using standard neck measurement, 3 inches of neck width. And 3 inches of neck depth. Okay. So I'll go ahead and connect. So after that, I'll give it a round. So having done this, the next thing we are going to do, I'll go ahead and mark out my shoulder to my bust, shoulder to bust point. So remember, this is my chest line. Then my bust point is 12. I have 12 inches to my bust point. So I'll be marking 12.5. So my waistline, I have shoulder to waist of 18 inches. I'll add 1/2 inches to it. Or you can add 1 inch to it. So this is what I have. So this is my chest line, my bust point, waistline. Sorry, I forgot to add my under bust measurement, which is 15 inches. So here I'll be marking 16. My bust, under bust measurement is 15.5. Okay, so this is my chest line, my bust point, my under bust measurement, and shoulder to waist. Okay, so shoulder to waist is 18. So after this now, from here, for my bust point, I'll go ahead and input my nipple to nipple measurement. So I have 4.5, 8 divided by 2 plus 1/2 inch. So here. So on this my bust point now, I'll go ahead and I'll come down by, I'll go up by 1/2 inch, then I'll come down by 1/2 inch, like this. So after this now, on the under bust, I'll come out by 1.5. So here I'll go in by 1 inch. So after that, I'll connect. So the next thing I will do right now, from here I'll go ahead and use my rule to connect to this. So I'll connect it like so to the 1/2 inch up. Then here I'll use my cuff to make a bustier cuff like this. So this is what you have. So here now on my this, I'll get the midpoint. So I have about 8 minus 3. So I have about 5 inches. So you get the midpoint. So this is the midpoint of my shoulder. So from here I'll connect from this point. I'll go ahead and connect it like so. So I'll connect like this. So here I will mark 1 inch on both sides. So 1 inch on both sides. So like this, I'll go ahead and then so this is what we'll have. Remember, it's a halter neck. So for me to get my bust circumference is 41. So you're going to mark it 41. Then what I have here, I have about 0.6. I'm going to replace it here. So after replacing it, then I'll curve. So here I'll get the midpoint of my armhole, which is 4. Then I'll come in by 1/2 inch here. I'll connect. Like so. Okay guys, so this is what I have. So because we are making a halter neck, so what I'm going to do now, from here okay, so now the kind of halter neck I'm making, so from here on this line I'll come down by 3 inches here. So I'll go ahead and connect. So I'll connect it into the armhole like this from here. So I'm going to connect it like this. So this is what it looks like. So after that, the next thing now is to get or extend these lines here. So here I'm going to add extra 1/2 inch. So this is showing allowance. So after that, the next thing is to get my underbust measurement. So my underbust measurement is 36. So divided by 4, which is 9. So here I will check what I have. I have about 2.6. I'm going to replace it here. Then the waistline, I have waist measurement of 36 as well. So I'm going to mark. Then I'll transfer whatever I have. 2.6. Going to transfer it here. So I'll connect the line. Okay, after that, the next thing you're going to add your sewing allowance. So I'm going to add the sewing allowance of 2 inches here. You can decide to do that on your paper, or you do it on your when you are cutting on fabric, then you can add. So I'll go ahead and connect. So this is the front. Our front is ready. So this is a halter neck. You can decide to bring it straight here, but I want mine to start from this line. It's going to start from here, so that's why I'll cut from here straight. Okay, so guys, now I think I'm done with the drafting of this, but there is a little changes I want to make. So remember, from here we are going to cut from here. So this part we are going to cut from here. So in order for you, when you cut to this point, when you are done sewing, it's going to be short. There will be a shortage. So for that reason, I will bring this up here. So for me, I'm going to come up by, I will measure here. This is where I actually wanted it. By the time I finish joining, it should be here. So I'm going to measure what I have. I have 2.7. So I'm going to bring the 2.7 here. So I'm going to connect from here. So that after cutting off this part, by the time you sew, it will rhyme with this part as well. So I'm going to connect it like this. So when you cut here, so I'm not going to use this part. Okay. So let me illustrate. So I'm going to like this. So you see, this is how I want it to be. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut it out. So guys, why I extended the armhole, the lines on my armhole into that line is because I wanted their part to close a little. I don't want the armhole to be more exposed, because my client don't want it to be more exposed like the one on the thumbnail. So guys, that is just the reason. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now for us to drop the back, so this is my, I'll be using this one for the back. So I'll first of all mark out my starting or shoulder line. So this is my shoulder line. Then I'll mark out my zipper allowance, 1.5 inches. Okay, after that, then I have my shoulder to waist. Let me see. Okay, I have shoulder to waist. So I'll go ahead and mark it out. Then from here, my shoulder measurement. I'll come down by 1/2 inch for my shoulder slope, then my chest line, which is 8. So I have my underbust measurement is, I'm using 16. Then this is my shoulder to waist. This is my chest line. I will slant it into the shoulder line. So after that, I'm going to use from here, I'll mark out my 3 inches neck width. For the back, I'm going to use 1 inch. So I'll just mark out 1 inch. Then I will use my French curve and So this is what I have. Then I'm going to marking my bust point. Remember my bust point is 12. So this is my bust point. So from the bust point, I'll mark out my bust span measurement, nipple measurement. So I'll connect. Then on the waistline, I'm going to mark half inches on both sides, and I'll connect it to the bust point. So having done that now, the next thing I'm going to do from here, I'll get the middle of my shoulder measurement. So this is the middle point here. So after marking that, then I will mark half inches on both sides like this. And I'll go ahead and connect. So after this now, I'm going to mark out our armhole measurement. So this is the armhole. First of all, mark out my bust circumference. Plus I have half an inch here. Going to receive that. Then I'll connect like this. So after that now, the next thing we are going to do, remember on the front, I came down by, from here I marked 2.7, so I'll go ahead and connect. So after that, the next thing is to add, I'm going to add my sewing allowance. You can decide to do that directly on your fabric, or you can add it here. So I've decided to add it on my pattern. So remember here, okay, so I added 2 inches. So here, then this is the under bust. I have the under bust of 36. So what I have here, it's not up to, I have 0.7, it's not up to 1 inch. So I'm going to replace that here. So after that, I'll go ahead and add my sewing allowance. Then my waistline, I have my waist of 36. So I'm going to add, this is 1 inch. I have 1 inch, I will replace it here. Then I'll add my sewing allowance here. So after that, I'll go ahead and connect. Okay. So this is what I have for the back. So this is my zipper allowance. So on this my waistline, I will come in by ½ inch. This is to eliminate zipper bulge. So I'll go ahead and connect. The draw is just like this. What I have. So this is it for the back. The next thing now is to cut out. I'm going to cut this part. So this is the front. Okay, so guys, now this is the fabric. So I have here 4 years. So what I folded here is 4 years. So I'm going to be using the 4 years. So from here I'm going to minus my waist. From this is my waist, shoulder to waist measurement upwards. So I'm going to minus it. So from here so what I have here is almost, my full length is 61. So I will be using the whole of this Ankara fabric, because what I have about 62. So after subtracting my shoulder to waist measurement, the upper bodies, so I have leftover of 62. So I'm going to be using the whole fabric. I'm not going to cut out anything. So now I'm going to fold it into 2. I'll go ahead and divide it into 2, like so. So when I divide it, I'm going to have 2 inches. Remember, we're going to be having zipper allowance. So here, I'll divide here. When I divide this part, I'll be left with 2 inches. Like the 4 inches, I'll divide it into 2. Then I'll divide 1 again for the zipper allowance. Okay, so after dividing it, then the second one. So let me go ahead and divide. So this will be the front and the back. So I'll cut from here. Okay, so after cutting it, you can see I have the back. This is the back. I'll use this as the back. So it's the side and the center back. So I'll put it aside. Then for the front, so remember the front, we have slants, we have a side, it is going to have a side slit. So what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and reduce, because it's going to have side slit. You can decide to slit into 2 because of the, or you can just decide to make one longer than the other one or bigger like this. So remember the side, the gather is going to be at the side. So for it not to affect the other part, which is longer, you can decide to shorten it by maybe 10 inches. So I'll reduce by 10. So let's say here I'm okay with this. So now I'll get the middle point and I'll cut it out. So I'll go ahead and cut out. So this smaller part will be for the side. So while the longer one will be for the other part of the front. So now I'll just go ahead and cut. So remember, there will be a side like this. It's going to have, so we're going to join here. So then we'll stop where we want the slit to be. So on the thigh or on the knee length. So I'm going to join, and I'll stop here. Then I'll finish up this edge. So let's say I will join like this. So go ahead and sew and stop where I want my opening to stop. Then I'll go ahead and finish up and hem this part, okay? So that's how it's going to be. So you see, it's going to be like this. So you see here, this is the slit is going to be at the side, the left side. So by the time I'll gather it, it's going to fall at the left side. So we'll go ahead and cut out the upper part. Okay, so guys, you can see now I added a little bit of allowance here. So on this armhole, I added half an inch because I don't want it to be too exposed. So that's why I added it. By the time we finish using it to sew and do turn up, because I'm going to be using lining to finish the armhole area. So this is the allowance for sewing. Okay, so now let's work on the back. So this is for the back. I don't know, I want to see if I can dodge this paper here. So what I'm going to do, so for me to dodge this level here, so I want to cut out this one first. Okay guys, so I'm cutting this out now. So you can see this is the halter neckline using a shoulder dart, as you can see on our thumbnail. So if you don't want the down part or your armhole to be more exposed, so you can go ahead and use this method I used here. But if you want it a little bit exposed or down, just like the one you saw on our thumbnail, so you're going to slant it into the armhole side, like I explained earlier. You're going to slant it into the midpoint. From the middle point, okay, you're going to come down just like I explained. So after this, now the next thing, you can see I've cut out my lining piece. So I'll go ahead and pin it up. So I'm going to open this like this. I'm going to be sewing lining fabric to fabric, okay. So I will first of all pin all the fabric together. So after pinning it, this is for the front. I'll also go ahead and pin the lining as well. So I'm going to sew it separately. So this is to enable me to get a neat finish on the armhole area. So that is why I'm sewing them differently. Okay, so I'm pinning the front piece now. So after pinning the front piece, I also pin lining. Okay, so now this is the armhole. You can see if you want it more down, you can go ahead and cut it, so depending on your preference. So now I'll set this aside, so I'll go straight to my sewing machine. All right guys, so now you can see I'm done with the sewing. I've used the lining to sew, so I've turned it. You can see the neckline. I'll be attaching a bishop collar to the neck. So this is the bustier. I did not put any bra cup inside. So this shoulder, you see that leg, you can see what I was trying to say earlier. If you want it more down, you can bring it down. So depending on how exposed you want the armhole part to be. So this is how it looks on the wrong side. So this is it. So now this is my bishop or standing collar. So I'm going to, first of all, you measure around your neck. So after that, I'm going to fix it like this, so round. So after sewing around, then you flip to the other part and top stitch or sew it round as well. So this is for the neck. So you can see how nice it is. So these are my gathers. This is the back and this is the back gathers. Yeah, this is my pocket. I'm going to be inserting pockets, inside pockets to this dress. So this is for the front, as you can see. So this is our slit. So I've finished the edge of the slits. I joined and I finished the edge. So I'm going to gather it. So that is why I cut out one part bigger than the other. So the smaller part will be from the slit side. Remember, it's going to be on the side, not on the center front. So that is why I made one part of this gathers longer than the other one. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So after that, I'll just go ahead and attach them and shape, and that is all for this particular dress. So guys, this is the finished look. Guys. What are you waiting for? I hope by this time you have given this video a thumbs up, you have liked and share. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for joining me on this particular tutorial. See you in my next video. Bye.